This video falls into the general category of car videos underscore musings. I want to chat a little bit about my current emotional state, which is to say about the fact that I currently feel excited about Mindy's Club. Currently feel excited about the shorts channel. I feel excited about making shorts, and what I'm discovering is a lot of things about, I guess, the way I make media and the way I never know what I'm doing until I find myself halfway through it, basically. But as I find my way into a thing, especially when it's benefits from this sort of external definition, like the shorts compel this format identity of 15 seconds or less, and therefore constrain possible incarnations of that in a way that allows me to finally do something that people have been telling me to do for many, many years. Nobody's ever told me to do Mindy's Club, obviously, but people have been telling me, you need to start a separate channel for this. Finally, I have something specific enough that actually makes sense, and I can do it, and it's distinct enough. Shorts are primarily the main factor here is that I can only make shorts on the phone, and I rarely make long form videos on the phone. I almost always make them on the computer. When I do make them on the phone, it's like this, right? It's and then it operates according to its own principles. The other thing with the shorts feed, the way it works, is it does seem to be meritocratous, that the better, more engaging stuff in general does better, but it's also kind of mysterious. Sometimes something that seems really just like nothing will hit super hard, like you're swimming, yay! It got like 8,000 views. Other ones make a lot more sense. There seems to be a pattern that when we get the characters involved and the sort of storyline involved more with the girls, especially, Tiffany's popular. She tends to do well, but it needs drama just like anything else, even though it's just little dolls. And Rachel and I have spent the whole time driving over here chatting out various storylines that have sort of just emerged as the reality of Mindy's Club reality show becomes reality by virtue of building canonical pasts for them. There's a joke in Rick and Morty about that one time I remember hearing, where somebody's talking to Rick about his ex-wife, and he's like, how dare you write canon? Because once shit's set down in a media's history, and YouTube is less subject to this than a TV show like Rick and Morty, but once something's set down, it becomes canon for that implied mythology's universe, So the thing is, at this point, I kind of want to go back at it and delete some of the earlier, and I have already, in fact, deleted some of the earlier Mindy videos that turned out to be inconsistent with the characters, and I probably need to do a little bit more of that, because when I started, I didn't really know the characters, right? I had to spend some time, Rachel and I had to spend some time, and now we are aware of all these incredible storylines going on in their lives that I didn't even realize were happening, like, I already knew that Mindy and the gang, or at least Mindy, Duck Girl, Leaky Leaky Locky, and Tiffany had been selected and were participating in a wilderness survival show. And they're not done with that story arc, but what's happened is the show has left you hanging on that and started a different story arc over here. And now it appears that Mindy keeps disappearing somewhere. Where's she off to? What's she doing? And who steps in as Mindy leaves a little bit of void? Evil Mindy, Kendi, who's been plotting and lurking behind the scenes the whole time. And so what does she do? She starts prodding the other characters from frame. Where's Mindy going? What's she up to, So I don't want to spoil. I don't have a lot of spoilers, so I'm not going to tell you what's really going. But let me tell you, it's juicy. Okay, there's some juice going on here. Regardless, there's some juice going on with that little channel. It's today before we came over to Puddingstone, it was popping. There's several videos on the feed, and it was like, we're already over 150,000 views. It's less than a month. I bet when I get home, it'll be over 200 subs now. And as our vision on it clarifies, and the other night I spent, it's amazing the amount of impact that a flurry of real work can accomplish. And that's what happened when I spent time doing the branding and shit on Mindy's Club and renaming it, making it all consistent, laying it all out, all the TE, SE bullshit. And it's as much SE as it is TE, because it's like, how many times have I mass edited the descriptions of the things until I was satisfied with it? Many times, but YouTube enables you to play around like that. So it allows you to kind of ultimately come up with an actual show made just of clips under 15 seconds, which is kind of weird, right? It seems kind of like a new thing that never existed in the world prior to TikTok / Vine / short
Snapchat.
Yeah, those kind of little teeny ones, So any thoughts you have on the Shorts channel and the process here on?
I'm excited. I'm a big fan of it. I hope it does well. I think that there's great ideas to come, and we're working on them now. And
don't you feel like involved in the characters' lives?
Yeah, so when Eric said that he joined as Mindy in CJ O'Connell's live stream, I was like, oh, I missed it. Like,
Rachel, that wasn't me, that was actually Mindy.
I know, Mindy, I mean. So
yeah, that was. Yeah.
Okay, so when Mindy joined the stream.
Yeah, apparently Mindy, that's cool. Is Mindy's actually starting to show a little bit of interest in what we got going on too.
So
and she appeared up in CJ's stream last night. Apparently we chatted with them. I missed it. I wasn't there, but
I missed it too. And I felt like, oh my gosh, I need to see Mindy's words to make sure that, like, when I speak for Mindy, when I encompass Mindy, that I encompass all the things that people like about her, because Eric was saying that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. She makes me feel threatened because she's a newcomer. She's another fucking Eric Thor, except this time it's a girl who shows up and she's nice and everybody likes her, and all of a sudden her channel's gonna be way past mine.
Eric said that she's very likable, that a lot of
people
like her.
Yeah, people told me, like, oh, Mindy's really nice, you should talk to her, you should meet her or whatever, and I'm like, oh, great. Another FE person coming here and, like, get 50,000 subs all of a sudden, and they don't even know anything about typology because they have it from heart emojis and shit. God, it's frustrating. Anyway, but, she is really nice, apparently.
Oh, that's great.
I've read a couple of comments she left in places and stuff, and
well, I know she helped that guy with his math problem.
That's true. She helped, what's his name? Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah, she helped Brandon with his conditional logic problem. She's always looking out for people. She's Warren and Tiffany. Get down from there.
Yeah, she got Duck Girl from being stuck between boulders.
Yeah, she caught a corduroy when he fell out of a giant cactus.
Yeah, so she's really... And
she's also made first contact with the Sasquatch people. She's already done that. She, a little bit of a spoiler, Mindy is being scouted by the Sasquatch people as the human representative for peace talks. Because if you're not aware, Sasquatches complain a lot about humans coming into the forest and how they can't really fight us against us because we have real weapons and they just are hairy beasts. So anyway, they want to have some kind of conversation trying to negotiate, so they don't have to deploy their nuclear option, which is their scientists have bred a gigantic cat, which is like as big as the Great Pyramid of Giza, basically, and they threaten to unleash it and eat all the humans in the world. Now, it may be an idle threat. I'm not sure if the Sasquatch cat actually eats people, likes the taste of people. Cats typically are picky eaters.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was genetically engineered by the Sasquatch scientists, it's possible they engineered its taste buds as well. So we have to operate under the assumption that it is true that the cat would eat us. So we want to avoid that. I'm glad the Sasquatch picked somebody as reasonable and pleasant as Mindy to be the human representative, because she's not going to make us look bad, at least.
No, she won't.
Anyhow, I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit worried about Perry's self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany means well, but she's always so drunk and dumb that.
That's why I was trying to think of like who he could pair up with.
I mean, he's already slept with Tiffany a couple times. She just never remembers it. And when she wakes up, she's like, "Ew, what are you?" Which is kind of mean, but she doesn't even realize what she's doing because she's pretty much always either on. It's either, hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, let's get started, or she's well on her way to blackout. So, she does have a bit of an alcohol. I mean, you don't have to call it alcohol problem. I mean.
She likes to drink.
She's integrated alcohol very thoroughly into her life.
Yeah.
Is what it boils down to.
Yes, very early in her life.
Very thoroughly.
Thoroughly.
Yeah. It comprises a lot of her activity doing. Well, she joined a sorority when she first got into college. She didn't even realize she's long since been kicked out of the sorority and failed out of college.
Oh my gosh.
She thinks that Mindy's Club, where she's currently living, is the sorority house still. She's unaware that she's been cast in a show. But, she's got a good heart. She means to have fun, okay? And sometimes she doesn't realize she's having fun by treating another person like a horse and riding around on them and thinking...
Oh, yeah, no.
She's just too drunk to know better.
Right.
Anyway, I feel like I gotta stick up for Tiffany because a lot of people think she's a narcissist or something.
Oh my gosh, no.
She's not a narcissist. She's just genuinely that dumb.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anywho, I guess there's so much to talk about with Mindy's Club. I could make this video go on forever. I just want to say.
Does she have a boyfriend?
Well, are we going spoilers?
Okay, then that'll be a private comment.
Because you remember about where she'd been sneaking off to, what she'd been doing with her?
Yes, of course.
All right.
How could I forget that plot? No, we're not going to spoil it.
Okay.
Definitely.
So, in other words, she's single right now. Mindy is single. An eligible bachelorette. If you males are out there interested because she's single, she's single. She's still single. So,
she is the face of the channel's icon. Just so everyone knows, that is.
It's her club.
Mindy's face. Yes, her happy smiley face.
Mm-hmm.
She also wears the color yellow, which a lot of people associate with sunny personality.
And she also understands a simple rule for leadership. She says, "I'm a great leader. I always tell people, smile." That's a good leader, reminding people to smile. Because one of the biggest problems people have is an inadequate recollection of indications of smiling time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I just wanted to mention Randall real quickly. Poor guy, perfect regular guy, except he looks remarkably like Godzilla. And, of course, Tiffany thinks he's a horse. I also want to mention Perry, also perfectly regular guy. Unfortunately, green and slimy, looks a lot like a swamp monster.
But don't feel too bad for him because he does get it from Tiffany.
Yeah, he does take advantage of her when she's shit-faced drunk. But if he's so mopey, it's like, is she taking advantage of him? Probably, but it's hard to say. But what's interesting is Sasquatch is actually a different species. So he is not a regular guy who looks like Sasquatch. You can tell he's a different species because he talks like a caveman Indian. Me Sasquatch. Me want human out first. Like that. So I just found that interesting.
That is interesting. I didn't mean to laugh at it. It's actually very telling that he has a voice like that.
I'm hoping that Randall and Perry maybe can have their own little support group of people who are regular people but who look like monsters.
Oh man, how can we include Viper in that club?
Okay, I mean, I think Viper definitely wants to get in that club.
Yeah.
And they probably, that's a conversation Randall, Perry, and Viper, Todd, Viper, I still think of him as Todd because I knew him before he was transitioned.
He likes to be called Viper when he's in his uniform.
Well, he says he's never out of uniform. He's transitioning. Transitioned. He's post-op super.
Well, we gotta respect.
He's post-op super. He went from normie to super.
Well, if you like calling, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what to call him. I call him Viper.
He says all of his pronouns are Viper. He said he tried switching his first and third person pronouns, but it was very confusing. Anyway, yeah, I think that's a frank adult conversation needs to be had between people who are regular normal people who actually look like monsters and people who are regular normal people and who are trans monster, basically. They've transitioned into a monster. Are they going to be afforded legitimacy by Randall? Is Viper going to be afforded ontological legitimacy or ontological assault from Randall and Perry, two people who he feels ought to sympathize with him? He's got a similar situation, except they view him as imposing it upon himself. What a conundrum. What a moral conundrum. Oh my goodness, the richness of these narratives. So that's what you got looking forward to on Mindy's Club. If you haven't checked it out yet, I don't care. I'm angling for the short speed anyway.